Hello again! All year in my blog posts, I have written about just Korea things, which are things that I have found to be very specific and characteristic of Korea. Things that you only find here. Those have included things like motion-censored music in the bathrooms, keeping the windows open while it's snowing during the winter, and eating really hot foods to fight hot weather. I decided to survey 20 foreigners that are living here in Korea to see what they thought were the most Korean things. While there were many really good ones that didn't make the top 10, like soap on a stick, PDA with friends, fried chicken, and electronic toilets, we did come up with a very solid top 10 list. Coming in at number 10 is sweet pickles with everything. Pizza? Sweet pickles.
Chicken.
Sweet pickles.
Meat buffet.
Sweet pickles.
I'm just going out for some drinks.
Sweet pickles.
Not dill, but sweet pickles. I challenge you to come to Korea and find dill pickles anywhere. Next up is number 9, unique parking situations. They say that the United States is the land of the free and the home of the brave, but I would love to see you try and park anywhere you want and get away with it. Here in Korea, you can park literally wherever you want and they're probably not going to do anything about it. One time I saw enough room for about half of a car on the side of the road. So someone saw that and seized the opportunity to take that parking spot. They put the nose of their car in that spot and left the rest of their car in the middle of the road. Another time I saw a car parked next to the lane of cars on the side of the road, in the actual lane, just left their car there. That's freedom. Maybe illegal. Taking the number 8 spot is nonsense English on tees and totes. I would like you to go into any Korean clothing store and look around at the things that they have. Not often are you going to find Korean writing on t-shirts, you're going to find a lot of English, and a lot of the time it's going to make no sense. I once saw someone walking around in a very nice black and white striped sweater that just said, baby powder. I once had a male student come in wearing a t-shirt that said, boys. There's a personal trainer at my gym that very frequently wears a shirt that says not day but today. So those are just a few really good examples because the other ones I actually can't remember because it's such nonsense. Go into any store and find a t-shirt with English on it and I can almost guarantee you that it will not make sense. Number 7 is not specific to Korea, but they do probably have more of them than anyone else. Face masks. Go into any department store and you will find kiosks from multiple skincare stores that sell face masks for $1 each. Number 6 was submitted by someone else, so these are not my words. Walking in the streets because the sidewalk. A lot of time there's not even a sidewalk, so people will just walk not on the side of the street but in the middle of the street, and cars will have to squeeze their way through. But even if there is a sidewalk, then a lot of the time people are just wandering out in the middle of the road because they can. That's freedom. Number 5. Bathrooms that are the shower. The entire room is the shower. For this one, I'm going to take you back to a video that I made a few months ago, just so you can see firsthand. It's a decently sized bathroom, you might think, for just a toilet and a sink, but the secret is that most Korean bathrooms actually are the shower. So if you look over here, you have the shower head on the wall and the drain on the floor. That brings me to number 4, cheap alcohol, or more specifically, soju. Soju is a Korean liquor made from rice. You can go to the store and buy a bottle of it for about $1.50. You can buy a 20-ounce bottle of it for about $2, and you can buy a 1-liter bottle of it for about $4. Go out any night of the week, and you will see Koreans drunk on the street that should have been home 4 hours ago. They barely look alive. Koreans love soju. There is no limit. I would compare soju to vodka. It goes down pretty easily. It usually is about 17 to 21%, but it still tastes terrible. This brings me to number 3, groundbreaking info at the last possible minute. Koreans seem to have no sense of urgency, and I've learned that firsthand working with them in a school. 2 times now it has happened to me that I got a text in the morning that said, sorry I'm late, but there's no school today. Because I know how to look at a calendar, I already knew this. But can you imagine if I didn't? I already would have been awake, probably already ready for work, and I maybe even would have left for work already. One time I asked at the very end of the day if I was going to have class the next day because I saw in the calendar that there was swim training. I got a text back that said, no, you don't have class. About a half hour later, she said, oh, I almost forgot. You need to bring your lunch tomorrow because we're not having school lunch. So because I asked if I was going to have class, she told me that there would be no lunch. Had I not asked, they wouldn't have told me anything and I would have starved. Just Korea things. Taking the number 2 spot is convenience stores. They take convenience stores very seriously. You are going to find one of them within at least 10 minutes on foot. When you live in a city, it's not even going to be that hard. A convenience store opened behind my house a few months ago, so I have one that I can walk to in 1 minute. But before that, I had one that I could walk to in 2 minutes, and I had another one that I could walk to in 2 minutes. My personal favorite was voted the #1 most Korean thing: produce trucks that drive around and talk on a loudspeaker. Now, since I'm an English speaker, I have no idea what these trucks are saying, so the first time I saw one of these trucks driving around, it was a bit of a shock to me because I didn't know what it was doing. We had just arrived in Korea when the climate between North and South Korea was still a little bad. We live just north of Gunsan Air Force Base, and they often do flight tests over our city with low-flying planes. These planes rip through the sky. They are so loud, and this was the first time that they had been doing tests since we had arrived. At the same time, a produce truck was driving around right outside of our house. The only thing that I could assume with these two things happening at the same time was that North Korea was coming to attack. I thought that that produce truck speaking on the loudspeaker was telling everyone to evacuate. It was already a holiday weekend, so everyone was out of town with their families, and the streets were empty. These two things happening at the same time gave me diarrhea. I had to go right to the bathroom, and I immediately got out my phone to register with the United States Embassy. Just Korea things. Now you know about the top 10 things that you're just gonna find in Korea, as voted for by foreigners here in Korea. We only have 1 week left in Korea, and we will make one more video, so if you have any questions about anything, whether it's Korea or a question for me or a question for Michael that I have not covered this year, go ahead and let me know. You have one more chance. See you next time!